What's up, guys? I found some concerning things here for XRP in the immediate short term. Please don't get me wrong, midterm, long term, I remain extremely bullish. However, in the short term, there are some things that you need to know right now if you're invested in XRP, in crypto. Many of you are wondering, are we going to dip lower in the short term? Are we going to go higher? This video is specifically made for you, so please watch it until the end to understand the full picture here. And yeah, let's get into it. First, of course, like the video. Can we get this one back above 1,000 likes? Would be appreciated. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so here we're looking at the price action, the daily time frame for XRP, and I'm focused here on the price action since the lowest point from the 7th of April. Let me show you, let me remind especially the new subscribers. So we have been in this horrible sideways period basically since the beginning of December for XRP. I would say in between $3.40, the top of the range, and the lower side on average around 190, and on the beginning of April, 7th of April, price dipped to 160 or so. And I'm focused on this specific price range here for XRP because this is important, because since that point onwards we haven't seen a lower low. So for now I am anticipating that this was the final low for XRP here on the 7th of April. Significant buying pressure came after, and we are currently, in my personal understanding, in my personal opinion, in the process of establishing a higher low before further continuation to the upside. So something like this before eventually further upside for XRP. And let me show you what I'm currently spotting here in the immediate short term. What you can see on the lower side of the screen is actually the fear and greed, crypto fear and greed meter. The top side represents extreme greed, then we have greed, we have neutral here in the color yellow, then we have fear in orange, and in red we have extreme fear. Now what is interesting right now, as of today, the crypto fear and greed meter is at 74. If you Google crypto fear and greed meter, you will also see 74 on the index, which is pretty high, I have to say. Now why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because at the highest point that we had, actually if we look at this line over here, so the highest point that we had for XRP on the 14th of May, that was this when XRP was trading around 265. That was the point when the crypto fear and greed meter was actually flashing 74, and guess what, today we are at 74 once again. But here's the twist, guys. If you measure from the highest point, actually somewhere around this over here, to the current price, then we are down by 19, almost 20% from that point onwards, and yet the crypto fear and greed meter is at the same point. So you could wonder, why is this important? This is actually a bearish thing just in the immediate short term, because we are seeing more greed while the price is actually lower than the price was at the peak around the 14th of May. And that is a bearish sign. That's a bearish divergence in terms of the crypto fear and greed meter here on the daily time frame. So it is likely for price to come down a little bit lower. I'm going to give you the support areas in a minute, just to reset this meter a little bit, maybe back into around the neutral zone before eventually we can see the kickoff of the next major rally for XRP. Because typically whenever you come into greed or even extreme greed, we always tend to see a pullback. It is basically not a good starting point here. We are currently trading at $2.13, and this is not a good starting point to be in greed already. Yeah, while we are 20% lower than when XRP was around 265, right? So let me give you the support areas that I'm looking out for to potentially reset this crypto fear and greed meter. And for this, I'm going to sketch out a Fibonacci retracement from the lowest point of the 7th of April to the highest point of the 14th of May. And you can see the support areas. We are currently hovering around the 0.5. We have already tested the golden pocket here for XRP. I'm right now on the log scale, actually on linear. If we go to log, basically the same thing. So let's go to the regular scale. But we've already tested the golden pocket a few days ago. We got a strong bounce back to the upside. But for now, we are seeing a little rejection. If we actually sketch out a trend line, and where's my trend lines? Over here. So if we sketch out a trend line from this high point, and if we connect as many touch points as possible, let's make this black, then you can see that we got rejected at this exact trend line. So for now, the local trend is still down here just in the immediate short term, but I think we are getting very close to the final low for XRP. Personally, I still believe that there is a very low probability for XRP to break the low from the beginning of April. I do not think that that is going to happen. I think we are going to form a nice double bottom, a higher low, and then off we go to the upside. For now, that is my most likely scenario to expect. So what if we go lower? What is the support to hold? First of all, maybe another test here of the golden pocket around $2 for XRP, and maybe a strong bounce from off that zone. If not, the next support below that is around $1.83 for XRP, which is actually the 0.786 Fibonacci level. Let me also check the log scale, maybe $1.79 or so, $1.80. You can see that the candle bodies from around April perfectly closed above the 0.786. So these are my support areas below the current price if we dip lower just in the immediate short term. Let me now remove this, and to the upside, to give us confirmation that XRP is indeed gonna blast off to the upside, we would need to see at least a daily candle above $2.24 to be safe. But guys, I'm very optimistic. I mean, if we zoom out, let me remove this from the chart and let's actually go to the 3 daily scale. I'm very optimistic, and I think something absolutely massive is coming very shortly for XRP. Let me show you guys. So if we sketch out 2 trend lines and if we connect as many touch points as possible, so let's do that over here. So you can see this one, and let's do another trend line from this point to this point onwards. Then you can see that XRP is currently extremely close, guys, to a massive move in the market. We are getting compressed here in an apex, and I would say latest end of the month, maybe few days into July, we are going to see the breakout. In my personal opinion, higher probability to break out to the upside, since the current trend is still up here with higher highs and higher lows. And that's why I think right now is still an excellent time to look for new potential swing trade positions on the spot market, or potentially with leverage. But I would suggest to keep the leverage pretty low, because there's always a chance that price could wick a little bit lower before eventually it reverses back to the upside. So if you want to buy or trade XRP, then I would highly recommend BTCC or Phemex. Links down below in the video description. 10% deposit bonus over on BTCC, 20% deposit bonus over on Phemex. Check it out if you're interested. That was it, guys, for today's XRP analysis. If this was helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel. For now, patience is the name of the game. I think we are truly very close to the end of this horrible phase, and we are going to see a massive pump in the crypto market. However, in the short term, guys, there is some greed, so be a little bit more careful and just hold tight. And yeah, that was it for this video. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, link down below. I'm posting Q&A sessions, XRP updates over there. Check it out. I want to thank you all for watching, for the support, and I see you with another XRP update. Bye bye.